Hi Pisces, I hope that you're all doing well. In the pre-shuffle, what was catching my eye was Queen of Wands and Five of Swords. And when I see that, it feels like it's connected with like wanting to protect your energy and maybe not being the most open initially to something and wanting to maybe check it out a little bit beforehand. We are starting off with Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is going to be concerned with what is fair. And we have the Lovers. So this is going to be connected with a relationship. I'm seeing an Ace of Cups here too. All right. Coming back to that thing about seeing Five of Swords and seeing Queen of Wands, there can be this feeling of like wanting to ensure that you're going to be being treated properly, respectfully, however it is that you want to be interacted with, because Queen of Wands is that part of us that we have particular standards for, I think, like what we allow within our lives and what we don't allow within our lives. And Five of Swords feels like I need to kind of like vet this to make sure that this is going to be all right. So having Six of Pentacles, this can be like an agreement that you have with another person. It can be about how things are going to kind of shake out between the two of you. Having the Lovers there will be a focus on a relationship. I am seeing that we have an Ace of Cups. So that means that you have an opportunity with someone. I'd say that the likelihood of things at least looking like they could work at this point, I'd say that the potential is really there, but it can also just be like, well, this is potential right now. I don't know technically what's going to happen. And that's where the Queen of Swords comes in. Queen of Swords is the part of us that's really going to be taking a close look at things here and make sure that we are not missing any of the fine print when we are checking this out. It shows that you have a connection with someone. Things look like there's a lot of potential for compatibility there, for chemistry there, and that there is a viable new chapter that's opening up. But Queen of Swords is going to be taking the time to really reflect on this and pay attention and make sure that it's really going to be a right fit for you. Like maybe it looks good now, maybe you're going to look deeper into it and it's going to like look even better, feel even more legitimate. But right now it feels so early on that it's time to make sure that you're assessing this. Because Queen of Swords is not an energy that's going to immediately jump into things until we ask the right questions and find out the right information. So there can be a focus on doing that for now. I'd say that you feel open to this. You just want to make sure that you're not missing anything important, really. Wow. And we have the Fool here. So I'd say that your connection with this person, you haven't had anything like this with them before. This feels like a very new thing that you have going on. Things definitely are starting off in a way where it looks like things could really be good between the two of you. And so far it can feel like things are good between the two of you. Like this actually could be something that does work at the end of the day. I'd say that you're still in the phases of exploring the connection. So there can be a lot of stuff that you're still finding out. But I'm seeing there be an openness for sure, but also there's something here that's connected with open but discerning is the feeling. And you can feel as well like things are new enough that you still want to be doing exactly that. I wonder too if I don't know if something went down specifically between you and this person, or this just has to do with relationships in general, but you've been in situations and felt like there was a lack of reciprocity or there was a lack of compatibility, like things didn't really work the way that you wanted them to. But now it feels like having this chance here to connect in a way that you want to, where you can have somebody connect with somebody with like shared values that feel important. And because you've been in situations before where that wasn't always the case, it feels like it motivates you to really pay attention now, to pay attention to what's going on and to not miss anything because you're just like excited about connecting. That doesn't mean you need to not be excited about connecting. It means also too, though, that you are not like losing yourself to something prematurely, essentially. Because this is about learning from your past too, so we're not repeating something. Yeah, I'd say this is like making sure that you're gonna like the way that this feels, that you have enough in common, that you feel like there is a compatibility that can be continued throughout the relationship without there being like growing resentment or something like that. Maybe also too, that's what Five of Swords and Queen of Wands was about. Maybe you experienced something and you felt like you weren't being treated how you wanted to be treated, or you weren't being valued, or you weren't being appreciated. And so now you can be going into this situation ensuring that this is not just a repeated thing that you're getting into here. I'd say that this is a very new and different situation for you. It's not like anything that you've experienced before. There's a lot of unfamiliarity, there's a lot of newness, there's a lot of exploring. You're still learning and figuring things out to ensure, I think it's like really just to gauge how compatible you are with this person. Because there really is an opportunity for a relationship, and I think that because of what you've been through, you just want to vet this and make sure that you're not getting in over your head and then feeling like I wasn't really paying attention to that and I wish that I wouldn't have missed that detail. And I'm not saying that you're gonna like find something that you don't like. I'm not really seeing anything alluding to that. This feels more so just like learning from your past to make sure that you're not repeating something. Because, you know, when you're connecting with somebody, it can feel really excited and we can really get like so caught up in the potential of things. And like we want to love and be in love and be connected and explore connection. And this is just making sure that you can have all of those things while also still using your discernment. And it's important to have a balance between everything, just because we can be loving in every situation. You're not compatible with every situation. So this is just making sure that this relationship feels empowering to you. And I think really that's all that this is about. And I'd say you've been through stuff that has kind of forced you to be more discerning, and you don't want repeats of those situations. I think in a lot of ways you've learned from the pain that you've experienced. So you can just be cautious now moving into it. Well, cautious, it's more of like a mindfulness, I'd say, if anything, because I'm not seeing you hold back. I'm not seeing you be closed off. I'm seeing you be very open yet discerning. And it's just to make sure like we have enough in common here, or our compatibility is enough that this can feel good for everybody, rather than connecting and like making commitments and doing this and doing that and then being like we're actually like not very compatible and then having to go through that process. So now is a time about learning and finding things out and asking questions and having important conversations and just exploring the potential. So that's what I'm seeing be there being a big focus on right now. There can also be stuff having to do with choices, relationship choices that are coming up as well. I'd say too that once you've discerned enough, you're going to be, once you've checked things out and you have read the fine print, then it feels like totally open, like 100% into this. It just feels like before that, there's still an openness for sure that I'm seeing here, and like a learning and an engaging, but there can be a little bit of, there can be like appropriate boundaries that are there before you go like all in. It feels like just needing to check out and really assess what this situation is, kind of like dipping your foot in the water a little bit here before jumping all the way in. But then I'm seeing that if you check it out and you feel like it's a good situation for you and it's something that you do want to be involved in, then I'm seeing that there's going to be like a full jumping in. But there's definitely not a like, I'm not seeing you be closed off to this. I'm seeing there be a lot of openness to exploring this and seeing what happens and seeing what it is, and like on a mission to kind of find that out right now. I'm seeing there be a lot of curiosity here about things and like if this could be and what could it be. And I'd say that there is also a lot of optimism in general about this too. You can feel like there's kind of some support for this, and there can be a lot of learning as well that's happening. You can have shadow work that's coming up that's being triggered by this process as well. And that can also be something that you're working with too. Because I am seeing that you've been through stuff, and I think that if you've been through stuff before, you know, and it's not totally integrated, it can be stuff that's coming up, and it can be things that you're dealing with now. So that can be something that's sort of presenting itself a bit. There's something about like listening to your gut or like sticking to your guns, like that sort of thing. I'm seeing something there be important about that. I feel it more so just to make sure that you're being treated properly. That's really what it is looking like to me. Meaning like if you have to do difficult things, it's about doing those difficult things to ensure this. But I think some of that can even be about healing stuff and integrating things. Because I'm seeing it feel like you've been through a lot of stuff that would maybe make you like closed off in certain ways. And so there can be these sorts of things that are kind of coming up here where you're like, this is something where it looks like you're genuinely interested in this and it's speaking to you. And I think that that can really be motivation to do shadow work and to do healing work when you're looking at something and saying, like, I would really like to give this a chance and see where it goes and see what happens. But that means too that like your past stuff that has not been integrated can definitely surface. And then it's about like on your, kind of like on your own time working on those things within you. So you can fully show up within the connection and be present to it and really give it like the best chance possible for it to thrive. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.